have awakened the gods of old. We rise from our slumber to reveal our true power. Focus fire. Now to strike. Mortals have awakened the gods of old. We rise from our slumber to reveal our true power. Focus fire. Now to strike.
Let's fucking go, buddy. Welcome back to another episode of Battle Tactics and War Strategies. This time we're gonna get into the Anglo-Sikh War, at least the first one. Because there are multiple. We're just gonna do the first this time. Alright, give me a second to get everything pulled up, and we'll be set to go. Other than that, I hope everybody's having a wonderful night. Auntie, welcome in. I did have a great day, thank you. I hope you had a great day as well. Actually was forced to relax today. Can't do much parkour. Got a broken bone, so gotta heal that shit up. Can't be doing all kinds of crazy shit. It's nothing major, just fucking sucks and very inconvenient. But that's okay. That's okay. Because we're going to get into this here. The Anglo-Sikh War. Take my mind off of my fucking throbbing ass fucking shit. As it fucking hurts. Fucking probably broke 3 of my toes. Honestly, not even just one. I probably broke 3 of them motherfuckers, man. That shit hurts. And it sucks to fucking walk. I'm going to tell you that right now. But all that aside, let's get started with the first Anglo-Sikh War, which was fought between the Sikh Empire. This spot right here, and highlighted in yellow, And the syndicated British Navy, in other words, British East India Company. In 1845 and 1846, around the Ferozepur district of Punjab. It resulted in the defeat and partial subjugation of the Sikh Empire and secession of Jammu and Kashmir as a separate princely state under the British suzerainty. The Sikh king... Oh, yeah. Yeah, it sucks. It is what it is. It is what it is. Mistakes were made. Stuff happens. We're gonna move on. It'll be alright. It's not like I can really go get anything done for it. All they're gonna do is basically tell me to fucking go home, put some ice on it, and take some painkillers. There's not really much you can do for broken toes or broken fingers other than, maybe put a fucking popsicle stick to straighten it out and make sure that it heals all straightened up and wrap it. Not use it very often. It's really all you can do. Deal with it. Right? Deal with it. The Sikh kingdom of Punjab was expanded and consolidated by Maharaja Ranjit Singh during the early years of the 19th century, about the same time as the British-controlled territories were advanced by conquest or annexation to the borders of the Punjab. When shown the map of India, Maharaja Ranjit Singh said, "What does the red color stand for?" The cartographer replied, "Your Majesty, red marks the extent of British possessions." The Maharaja scanned the map with a single eye and saw nearly the whole of Hindustan except Punjab painted in red. He turned to his courtiers and remarked, "Ekrazab lalhol jaiga." I'm going to go ahead and guess that's how you say it. I'm not Indian, so I don't know. One day it will all be red, is what that translates to. It was said that his prophecy was going to be fulfilled. Ranjit Singh maintained a policy of wary friendship with the British, ceding some territory south of the Sutlej River, while at the same time building up his military forces to deter aggression by the British and to wage war against the Afghans. He hired American and European mercenary soldiers to train his army, and also incorporated contingents of Hindus and Muslims into his forces. Like a legend. Ranjit Singh died in 1839. After his death, his kingdom began to fall into disorder. Ranjit's unpopular legitimate son, Karak Singh, was removed from power. Karak Singh was removed from power within a few months and later died in prison under mysterious circumstances. It was widely believed that he was poisoned. He was replaced by his able but estranged son, Kanwar, now Nihal Singh, who also died within a few months in suspicious circumstances, after being injured by a falling archway at Lahore Fort while returning from his father's cremation. At the time, two major factions within the Punjab were contending for power and influence. The Sikh Sindhwanwalis, and the Hindu Dogras. Sher Singh was crowned Maharaja of the Singh Empire in January 1841, with Dhyan Singh Dogra as his prime minister. The army expanded rapidly in the aftermath of Ranjit Singh's death, from 29,000 with 192 guns in 1839 to over 80,000 in 1845, as landlords and their retainers took up arms. It proclaimed itself to be the embodiment of the Sikh nation. Its regimental panchats, or committees, formed an alternative power source within the kingdom, declaring that Guru Gobind Singh's ideal of the Sikh Commonwealth had been revived, with the Sikhs as a whole assuming all executive, military, and civil authority in the state, which British observers described as a dangerous military democracy. Well, I mean, they kind of had to be. They were previously being persecuted by Hindus and Muslims for their religious beliefs. And now the British are trying to step in every time with the British India Trading Company. Damn it. I'm just playing around. British representatives and visitors in the Punjab described the regiments as preserving puritanical order internally, but also as being in a perpetual state of mutiny or rebellion against central Durbar, or court. Sher Singh was unable to meet the pay demands of the army, although he reportedly lavished funds on a degenerate court. Not a degenerate court, anything but a degenerate court. Come on. In September 1843, he was murdered by his cousin, an officer in the army, Ajit Singh Sinhanwalia. The Dogras took their revenge on those responsible. Jind Kaur, Ranjit's youngest widow, became regent for her infant son, Duleep Singh. After the vizier, Hira Singh was killed while attempting to flee the capital with loot from the royal treasury, Tashkana, by troops under Sham Singh Atariwala. Jind Kaur's brother, Jawahar Singh, became vizier in December 1844. In 1845, he arranged the assassination of Pashara Singh, who presented a threat to Duleep Singh. For this, he was called to account by the army. Despite attempts to bribe the army, he was butchered in September 1845 in the presence of Jind Kaur and Duleep Singh. Dang. They literally butchered his ass. That's crazy. Jind Kaur publicly vowed revenge against her brother's murderers. She remained regent. Lal Singh became vizier. This guy. And Tej Singh became the commander of the army. Sikh historians have stressed that both these men were prominent in the Dogra faction. Originally Hindus from outside of Punjab, both had converted to Sikhism in 1818. Immediately after the death of Ranjit Singh, the British East India Company had begun increasing its military strength, particularly in the regions adjacent to Punjab, establishing a military cantonment at Ferozepur, only a few miles from the Sutlej River, which marked the frontier between British-ruled India and the Punjab. In 1843, they conquered and annexed Sindh to the south of the Punjab in a move which many British people regarded as cynical and ignoble. This did not gain the British any respect in the Punjab and increased suspicions of British motives. The actions and attitudes of the British under Governor-General Lord Ellenborough. What a mouthful of titles. Governor-General Lord. Huh? Governor-General, he's not just a lord. He's not just a general, he is Governor-General Lord Ellenborough. And his successor, Sir Henry Hardinge. are disputed. So their actions and attitudes are disputed. By most British accounts, their main concern was that the Sikh army, without strong leadership to restrain them, was a serious threat to British territories along the border. Sikh and Indian historians have countered that the military preparations made by these governor-generals were offensive in nature. For example, they prepared bridging trains, prefabricated bridges, and siege guns batteries, which would be unlikely to be required in a purely defensive operation. Nevertheless, the unconcealed and seemingly aggressive British military buildup at the borders had the effect of increasing the tension within the Punjab and Sikh army. All right, we're just going to run over some stats real quick. The army under Ranjit Singh had expanded from around 35,000 troops in the 1820s to over 100,000 by 1845. In 1822, Ranjit Singh decided to base his army on the French model, and this process was complete by the time of his death in 1839. The 1st Brigade of the army was the Fauj-e-Khas, or Royal Army, which contained 3,176 infantry, 1,667 cavalry, and 34 guns. The brigades of the Fauj-e-Ain were modeled on that of the Khas, and this force had grown from 35,000 in 1838 to 70,000 in 1845, with 7 divisions being created in 1844 and 1845 from the existing troops. The Sikh cavalry, though no longer preferred branch, remained a well-disciplined force with 6,235 cavalrymen in 1845, with 2 regiments of lancers, 2 of cuirassiers, I don't know how to say that fucking word, and 6 dragoon regiments. There were also 22,000 Fauj-e-Sawar, which consisted of irregular cavalry deemed unstable for fighting an organized enemy, but well suited for chasing a routed enemy and conducting guerrilla warfare. The artillery was large, though The artillery was large, though unstandardized, increasing from 40 guns in 1808 to 381 by 1845, with the additional 388 swivel guns. Some of the artillery units had been organized and trained by European mercenaries. The British unwisely underestimated the Khalsa's artillery prior to the outbreak of war. There also existed a Jargirdar Fauj. This component of the Khalsa army was the feudal army provided the nobility of the state. It numbered 55,000. Gulab Singh's army in particular contained between 12,000 and 17,000 infantry and cavalry, as well as 94 guns. Additionally, there were Nihangs, 1,000 religious warriors who fought primarily as mounted infantry. Although the leaders and principal units of the army were Sikhs, there were also Punjabi, Pashtun, and Kashmiri infantry units. In total, the Khalsa army could count on approximately 153,000 regular and irregular soldiers. It was, however, led by Lal Singh, who, with Tej Singh, betrayed the Sikhs during the course of the war. 2 generals were regularly supplying information and even receiving instructions from British officers. Double spy dicks. What's going on, Lord of the Pies? How you doing? Welcome in. Hope you're doing well. An alternative estimate of the troops is given by Singh, who states it contained in 1845 on the eve of the war 53,576 regular infantry, 6,235 regular cavalry, 16,292 irregular cavalry, and 10,698 gunners. This is not including the tens of thousands Jargirdari Fauj. Damn. Some large forces. The British Army in India at the time generally consisted of 3 types. The regular units of the British Army, sometimes referred to in India as Queen's troops, who were used as the shock formations of the military in India, which in combination with disease resulted in them being almost permanently under strength. Damn it. The European troops raised by the East India Company, who represented a tiny portion of the troops present. The native Indian troops, sepoys, who formed the vast majority, 74 battalions of sepoys in the Bengal Army, alone existed at the commencement of hostilities, in addition to 8 light and lancer cavalry regiments and 18 irregular cavalry regiments. The sepoys were often used as garrisons and baggage train guards to leave the fighting to the European soldiers predominantly. In most infantry and cavalry brigades, there was usually 1 British unit to every 3 or 4 Bengal units. The artillery of Bengal Army contained 3 brigades of 5 battalions. Most of the artillery which took part in the war consisted of light guns from the elite Bengal Horse Artillery. Despite an overwhelming superiority in overall numbers, the British struggled to assemble an army above 40,000 for the campaign. And even at the end of the war, fewer than 25,000 soldiers were actively fighting. The army was commanded by Sir Hugh Gow, the commander-in-chief of the Bengal Army, who was accompanied by Sir Henry Harding, who was the British Governor-General of Bengal, who placed himself beneath Gow in the military chain of command. Gow was an aggressive commander who was unwilling to await for reinforcements. This almost led to disaster despite the open treachery of the 2 Sikh generals. Dang, he almost lost the war due to impatience, despite them having 2 inside spies that are basically in charge of the entire enemy army. Like, what the fuck? That would have been a major L. Fucking holy shit. After mutual demands and accusations between Sikh Darbar and the East India Company, diplomatic relations were broken, and East India Company Army began marching towards Firozpur, where a division was already stationed. In response to the British move, the Sikh Army began crossing the Sutlej on 11th of December, 1845. The Sikhs claimed they were the only moving into Sikh possessions, specifically the village of Moran, whose ownership was disputed on the east side of the river. But the moves were regarded by the British as clearly hostile, and they declared war. After Raja Gurdat Singh's death, his son Ajit Singh succeeded him. Ajit Singh upgraded his fort at Ladwa to face the danger of the British. During the First Sikh War in 1845, he fought on the side of the Sikh army against the British. He was defeated. The Sikh defenders of Woodney surrendered on the 30th of December after the Sikh defeat at Ferozeshah prevented the Sikh army from reinforcing themselves. This battle was the last fought by the Raja of Ladwa. Ajit Singh, the fort was designated. This battle was the last fought by Raja of Ladwa, Ajit Singh. The fort was designed by Dewan Mukam Chand with the assistance of Ranjit Singh's French and Italian generals. It was constructed as a response to the British, who built Lodi Fort in nearby Ludhiana. Fucking Indian names for fucking shit. The fort architecture had a distinct European character, with channels dug out along the boundary of the fort, watchtowers on 2 gateways, 4 bastions on 4 nooks, and high walls around the fort. Ajit Singh of Ladwa won this battle due to this fort. Fortifications are fucking necessary, man. I'm telling you, it's why it took Troy so long to be fucking taken down, and the only way they were taken down was by sneaking a bunch of soldiers in. Shit, man. Telling you, walls matter. Walls fucking matter, man. They fucking effective. This ancient fucking technology goes back fucking since the dawn of human beings to mark territory. Even to mark territory in regards to wildlife, right? Like, back in the way day, used to build walls out of fucking wood posts to keep out bears and shit. That's why you had a fucking gate around your little community. Walls are fucking effective. Just saying. Sometimes super effective. Depending how many landmines are laid in front. I'm just kidding. Moving on, the Battle of Moodkey was fought on the 18th of December, 1845. An army under Tej Singh crossed the Sutlej and advanced against the British outpost at Firozpur, although they did not attempt to attack or surround it. Another force under Lal Singh clashed with Goods and Harding's advancing army at the Battle of Moodkey late on the 18th of December. The British won an untidy encounter battle, suffering heavy casualties. Yeah. Shitty. I mean, it's what happens when you're the advancing force and the other force is kind of defending. The advancing force always loses a shit ton of people. Every time. I mean, not every time, but most of the time. Most of the time, the advancing force loses a shit ton of people. Obviously, this is changing with new technology. We can send in fucking drones and shit. We ain't gotta lose a bunch of people on the invasion. Like, the Industrial Revolution, World War I, II, Nam, Korea, all that shit. Like, modern wars are fought way differently than anything prior, right? Warfare stayed pretty much the same for a long time. The Battle of Firozpur was fought on the 21st of December, 1845. After the Battle of Moodkey, Go's army came in the site of the large Sikh entrenchment at Firozpur on the 19th of December. Go wished to attack at once, but Harding used his position as Governor-General to overrule him and order him to wait for the division from Firozpur to arrive. When they appeared late on the 21st of December, Go attacked in the few hours of daylight left. The well-served Sikh artillery caused heavy casualties among the British, and their infantry fought desperately. On the other hand, the elite of the Sikh army, the irregular cavalry, or Godachadas, were comparatively ineffective against Go's infantry and cavalry as they had been kept from the battlefield by Lal Singh. By nightfall, some of Go's army had fought their way into the Sikh positions, but other units had been driven back in disorder. Harding expected a defeat on the following day and ordered the state papers at Moodkey to be burned in this event. However, on the following morning, the British and Bengal army units rallied and drove the Sikhs from the rest of their fortification. Lal Singh had made no effort to rally or reorganize his army. Damn it, failure. At this point, Tej Singh's army appeared. Once again, Go's exhausted army faced defeat and disaster, but Tej Singh inexplicably withdrew, claiming that the British cavalry and artillery, which were withdrawing to replenish ammunition, were actually making an outflanking move. Operations temporarily halted, mainly because Go's army was exhausted and required rest and reinforcements. This is really fucked up. These guys are just playing fucking, like, fuck around with all of these soldiers. Because you got to remember, the two elite guys on the opposite side are fucking... They're spies. That's why dude withdrew, even though the British were withdrawing. He's like, oh, it's an outflanking maneuver, and just retreats. My ass. My ass it is. Kidding me. The hell out of here. And then it's like, oh, we're not going to do anything while they rest and recuperate. Why? That would literally be the time to strike. What the hell? Is Sikhs going to get a country again as British? I just want to know. I doubt it. I highly doubt it. Because Sikhism is not just localized to the Punjab region, especially not anymore. There's fucking millions, tens of millions of Sikh followers worldwide. So I don't think they'll ever get a specified country unless they all band together and make that happen. Which I don't think is a part of, you know what I mean? Like, you got to kind of understand Sikh philosophy and Sikh religion. And while the Punjab might be like a place of religious importance, I don't think that in the modern era they would be able to pull something like that off without an overwhelming military, like, taking of force, taking of it by force. But if they did, it would probably be the Punjab region of India and whatever the fuck around it they wanted to have. I mean, it could. It could happen. I'm not going to say that it couldn't. That it is a possibility, albeit very small. The Battle of Budawal was fought on the 21st of January, 1846. Ranjot Singh Majithia was the son of Deza Singh Majithia, one of the most able ministers under the Maharaja Ranjit Singh. He commanded a large army, 10,000 infantry and some regular cavalry of 60 guns, and crossed the Sutlej in force and was joined by Ajit Singh of Ladwa. He marched towards Ludhiana and burned a portion of the British cantonment. Sir Harry Smith, who was sent to relieve Ludhiana, marched eastwards from Firozpur, keeping a few miles away from the Sutlej. On learning of the Sikh strength and receiving further orders from Go, Smith instead force-marched his troops via Jagreon, collecting a British regiment there to reach Ludhiana ahead of the Sikh main body. On the 21st of January, as he left Badawal, the Sikh irregular cavalry continually attacked his rear guards. They captured most of Smith's baggage animals and cut down any straggling troops. Nevertheless, Smith succeeded in reaching Ludhiana with his troops exhausted. A brigade of troops from Delhi, including 2 Gurkha battalions, reinforced him. That being said, though, if the British didn't show up, or if they didn't go to war with the Sikhs, right, back in the day, the Sikh Empire probably would still exist. I think it would just be a small country in the Punjab region in between India and, part of Pakistan and part of India. Like, that region of the world would look slightly different. But then you'd have to go further back in history and look at the whole, how India and Pakistan became a thing as far as Muslims and Hindus are concerned, and Sikhs technically, because of the exodus of both two different regions, all the Muslims to Pakistan and all the Hindus to India, displacing literally everybody. Yeah, it was a fucking wild thing. A lot of people died. It was a tragedy. The Battle of Aliwal was fought on the 28th of January January 1846. After resting his troops, Smith once again advanced to Batawal. The Sikhs had withdrawn to Aliwal on the Sutlej, awaiting reinforcements. On the 28th of January, Smith advanced against them. Cautiously at first, finding a weak point in the Sikh position, he won a model victory which eliminated the Sikh brigade head and captured almost all Ranjit Singh's artillery and his army's baggage and equipment. Holy shiznit. The Battle of Sobraon was fought on the 10th of February 1846. The Sikhs had been temporarily dismayed by their defeats and by their commanders in action, but rallied when fresh units and leaders, including Sham Singh Atariwala, joined them, and Maharani Jin Kaur exhorted 500 selected officers to make renewed efforts. Gao had intended to attack the Sikh army in its entrenchments at Sobreon. Fucking names get me every time. As soon as Smith's divisions rejoined from Ludhiana. But Hardinge forced him to wait until the heavy artillery train had arrived. At last, he moved forward early on the 10th of February. The start of the battle was delayed by heavy fog, but as it lifted, 35 British heavy guns and howitzers opened fire. The Sikh cannon replied. The bombardment went on for 2 hours without much effect on the Sikh defenses. Gao was told that his heavy guns were running short of ammunition and is alleged to have replied, "Thank God. Then I'll be at them with the bayonet." Crazy. Dude's like, finally, the artillery bombardment can end and we can finally just go in there and charge them. Hilarious. Anxious. Dude's trying to rush shit all the time. 2 British divisions under Henry Smith and Major General Sir Walter Gilbert made feint attacks on the Sikh left, while another division under Major General Robert Henry Dick made the main attack on the Sikh right, where the defenses were soft and were lower and weaker than the rest of the line. It is believed that Lal Singh had supplied this information to Major Henry Lawrence, the political agent at Gao's headquarters. Nevertheless, Dick's division was driven back by the Sikh counterattacks after initially gaining footholds within the Sikh lines. Dick himself was killed. He went flaccid, everybody. He went flaccid. As the British fell back, some frenzied Sikh soldiers attacked British wounded left in the ditch in front of the entrenchments. Enraging the British soldiers, they were pissed. It's time. Oh, the British, Gurkhas, and Bengal regiments renewed their attacks along the entire front of the entrenchment and broke through at several points. Yeah, they were pissed. They're like, it's time. On the vulnerable Singh right, engineers blew a breach in the fortifications, and the British cavalry and horse artillery pushed through it to engage the Sikhs in the center of their position. Taj Singh had left the battlefield early. It is alleged in many Sikh accounts that he deliberately weakened the pontoon bridge, casting loose the boat at its center, or that he ordered his own artillery on the west bank to fire on the bridge on the pretext of preventing British pursuit. British accounts claim that the bridge simply broke under the weight of the numbers of soldiers trying to retreat across it, having been weakened by the swollen river. Whichever account is correct, the bridge broke, trapping nearly 20,000 of the Sikh Khalsa army on the east bank. None of the trapped Sikh soldiers attempted to surrender. Many detachments, including one led by Sham Singh Atariwala, fought to the death. Some Sikhs rushed forward to attack the British regiments, sword in hand. Others tried to ford or swim the river. British horse artillery line the bank of the river and continued to fire into the crowds in the water. By the time the firing ceased, the Sikhs had lost between 8,000 and 10,000 men. The British had also captured 67 guns. The siege of Kangra Fort was fought from mid-April to 28th of May 1846. It was a 6-week-long siege of the Kangra Fortress. Lawrence reached the fort on the 3rd of May 1846. This was the only battle fought between Sikh forces of Kangra and the British. The British controlled the valley after defeating them and the fort. Battle of Sohana. Akali Hanuman Singh, along with 500 troops, were heading for Guram when they were attacked near Sohana by the British. The British defeated this force, and Hanuman Singh was killed in action at age 90. This dude was 90 years old and fighting. Holy shit. And to top it all off, in the Treaty of Lahore on the 9th of March 1846, the Sikhs were made to surrender the valuable region between the Bias River and the Sutlej River. The Lahore Durbar was also required to pay an indemnity of 15 million rupees. Because it could not readily raise the sum, it ceded Kashmir, Hazara, and all the fort's territories, rights, and interests in the hill countries situated between the rivers Bias and Indus to the East India Company, as equivalent to 10 million of rupees. Damn it. In a later separate arrangement, the Treaty of Amritsar. The Raja of Jammu, Gulab Singh, purchased Kashmir from the East India Company for payment of 7.5 million rupees and was granted the title of Maharaja of Jammu and Kashmir. The estate of Ladwa belonged to Ajit Singh, who had fought against the British at Budawal, and Aliwal was confiscated in 1846. The Raja of Ludwa, with an estate of £10,000 per year, almost openly avowed his treason, and, after a time, went over to the enemy with all his troops and artillery. Reads the dispatch of the Governor-General sent to London on November 17, 1846. On September 22nd, 1847, through a synod, the British awarded his house at Haridwar to the Raja of Patiala. Ajit Singh was taken into custody and sent as a prisoner to the Allahabad fort. He contrived to escape after killing his keeper, and after long wanderings in the hills is supposed to have died in Kashmir. His children, who held in joint tenure 8 villages along the Badur Sardars, were dispatched by the British to these villages. Maharaja Duleep Singh remained ruler of the Punjab, and at first his mother, Maharani Jindan Kaur, remained as regent. However, the Durbar later requested that British presence remain until Maharaja attained the age of 16. The British consented to this, and on the 16th of December, 1846, the Treaty of Byraval provided for the Maharani. Oh look, Gulab Singh. The Treaty of Byraval provided for the Maharani to be awarded a pension of 150,000 rupees and be replaced by a British resident in Lahore, supported by a council of regency with agents in other cities and regions. This effectively gave the East India Company control of the government. Sikh historians have always maintained that, in order to retain their hold on power and maintain the figurehead of rule of Duleep Singh, Lal Singh, and Tej Singh embarked on the war with the deliberate intent of breaking their own army. In particular, Lal Singh was corresponding with a British political officer and betraying state and military secrets throughout the war. Lal Singh and Tej Singh's desertion of their armies and refusal to attack when the opportunity offered seemed inexplicable otherwise. That's why I said earlier, it would be exactly the time to strike, you would think. Right? Like, the army is recouping, the enemy army is recouping, recovering. If you don't need to do that same kind of recoup and recovery, why not go in for the attack? End it before another battle even starts. Unless you're working for the enemy. And that's just how that works. The Sikh Empire was, until then, one of the few remaining states in India after the rise of the company and the fall of the Mughal Empire. Although the Sikh army was weakened by the war, resentment at British interference in the government led to the Second Anglo-Sikh War within 3 years. Yeah, we'll probably do the second one for the next stream. We'll just cover the Second Anglo-Sikh War, which is a military conflict between the Sikh Empire and East India Company again, and took place from 1848 to 1849. It resulted in the fall of the Sikh Empire and the annexation of the Punjab and what subsequently became the Northwest Frontier Province by the East India Company. Yeah, they said, fuck you, we're taking over, we don't care. And then after we do the Second Anglo-Sikh War, we're going to go into a couple of other things. I'm going to jump over to Japan real quick. And we're going to cover Honda Tadakatsu. Why are we covering Honda Tadakatsu, you might ask? Well, for very specific reasons. And I will tell you why in just a moment. Tadakatsu is nicknamed as the warrior who surpassed death itself, because he never once suffered a significant wound despite being a veteran of over 57 battles by the end of his life. Imagine that. Being a samurai, it's not even like modern warfare, it's like samurai shit, and never receiving an injury over 57 battles. That's fucking wild. An anecdote recorded by Japanese writer Kasudo Yoshiaki had stated that Honda Tadakatsu, always compared to another Tokugawa general, Lee Naomasa, where despite being lightly armored, Tadakatsu never received an injury during his life, while Naomasa would always received wounds every battle despite heavily armored. Fucking crazy. Another anecdote spoke about physical strength of Tadakatsu, stated that he could slice a bamboo reed in a single slash using a wooden oar instead of a metal blade. Yeah, we're going over this guy next. Or at least Wednesday. Wednesday we're going to start a little bit of Japanese war history. It's going to be fan-fucking-tastic. I can't wait for that personally. I fucking love fucking samurai and ninja shit. So we're going to get with it. We're going to get with it. We're going to talk about some samurai and some ninja shit. Let's go, buddy. I mean, let's be real. I can't pull it out, but I have my katana right here. And another one right here. We're going to make it happen. Talk about Honda Tadakatsu. And if I can fit them both in, I'll do also Tachibana Munashige. Another samurai. There's two dudes I want to cover because they're fucking awesome. They're legends. So, if you're stoked on Japanese war history, you want to learn about some samurais and some other shit, learn about the shogunate, Nobunaga, and all the good shit that goes on, all the cool shit. And yes, I will be covering the real Ghosts of Tsushima event, the Mongol invasion of Japan. That is going to be one of the ones coming in the near future. In 9 days on Halloween, we'll be doing the Vlad the Impaler special. It's going to be fucking amazing. Also, a 3-hour-long stream of nothing but impalements. The entirety of Vlad the Impaler's life, the story, some of the stuff that came afterwards, like, the invention of fucking Dracula and shit like that, those kind of myths. I'm gonna go over all the good shit. All of the good shit. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome, so stick around for that too. That'll be on Halloween. However, that's all the content I had for you tonight. As far as battle tactics and war strategies is concerned, I might come back and do a gaming stream. I still haven't decided. Might try and get some sleep. Again, I did break fucking 3 bones in my foot and it fucking sucks. So, that being said, I hope you all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night. No matter where you're at in the world, I hope you have a wonderful time. Because it may be limited. You never know. Gigantic tidal wave could just wipe out all life on fucking Earth for no reason whatsoever other than it was just a gigantic rogue wave that swept across every continent and landmass and brought everything, every part of civilization into the sea with it. Now, obviously, that's an infinitely small possibility, but a possibility nonetheless. So, enjoy your time. As far as my time is concerned, my time with you on this episode is complete. It is up. It's over. It has ended. And thusly, I'm going to go ahead and call it here. I might be back. I might not. We'll see. I'll catch y'all next time. Let me get this fucking shit real quick. I wasn't prepared. What the hell is going on? What the hell is going on? Military flags.
I just wish he knew. just wish he knew.